The Abandoned Hotel. December 13th, 1985, remains an unforgettable date for the residents of Las Vegas, Nevada. The city, renowned for its vibrant nightlife and bustling casinos, hides a multitude of secrets in its shadows. One such shadow was cast by the once glamorous Mirage Heights Hotel, which stood abandoned on the outskirts of the city, a stark contrast to the glitz of the Strip. Local legends whispered of its haunted history, and most avoided it, especially after sunset. But for a group of 5 friends, curiosity overshadowed caution. Martin Turner, 23, had just graduated as a journalist, always eager to unearth forgotten stories. Lila Grant, 22, with her camera, was keen on capturing the unseen, hoping the hotel would offer some captivating shots. Alex Whitman, 25, was the daredevil of the group, often pushing the boundaries of adventure. Becky Hunter, 21, a college student with a penchant for mystery, was drawn by the tales surrounding the hotel. Michael Rowe, 24, a historian, had a personal interest. His great-grandfather had once been a guest there, never to be seen again. Pooling their courage, they decided to explore the Mirage Heights Hotel, aiming to debunk the myths, or in Martin's words, to find a story worth telling. Little did they know, the hotel had stories of its own, waiting to be relived. I've maintained the historical setting, character background, and dynamic writing style you highlighted from the original script. The sun was bidding its final adieu, casting long, eerie shadows as the group approached the Mirage Heights Hotel. The structure, once a beacon of luxury, now stood dilapidated, its windows cracked and its grandeur lost to the ravages of time. Deserted cars from bygone eras littered the entrance, hinting at the abruptness with which the hotel was abandoned. Alex parked their old station wagon a good distance away from the entrance. Rumors of frequent police patrols, checking for trespassers and thrill-seekers, had made them cautious. The air was thick with tension, and the desert wind carried with it whispers of forgotten tales, as if the very sands had stories to share. Lila, with her camera slung over her shoulder, hesitated for a moment, capturing the facade. "It's hauntingly beautiful," she remarked, her voice betraying a hint of nervousness. Becky clutched her flashlight tight, her excitement palpable, while Michael, ever the historian, mused aloud about the golden days of the hotel. Martin, notebook in hand, scribbled their first impressions, his journalist instincts kicking in. Their laughter and chatter tried to pierce the looming silence, a feeble attempt to ward off the unsettling aura that enveloped the place. As they neared the grand entrance, with its massive, faded doors slightly ajar, Alex mused, "Legends or not, this place has seen better days." The group exchanged a mix of anxious and excited glances, took a collective deep breath, and stepped into the darkened corridors of the Mirage Heights Hotel, unwittingly crossing the threshold into its enigmatic past. The echoing footsteps of the group reverberated through the expansive lobby, each step stirring dormant memories. Flickering beams from their flashlights unveiled remnants of the hotel's opulent past, ornate chandeliers covered in decades of dust, once plush armchairs now moth-eaten, and a grand piano, its keys eerily silent. Lila's camera clicked incessantly, capturing images of the haunting beauty around them. "Imagine the tales these walls could tell," she whispered, her voice barely audible amidst the quiet. Michael, ever curious, inspected framed photographs on the walls, showcasing celebrities and socialites from a bygone era, their smiles frozen in time. Martin, always the storyteller, began narrating the history he'd researched. The Mirage Heights was the pinnacle of luxury in its heyday. It's said that every who's who of the 60s once danced and dined here. Becky, drawn to the allure of the grand ballroom, pushed open its massive doors. The scene was surreal. Tables still set, glasses half filled, as if the party had been interrupted and never resumed. Alex, trying to lighten the mood, joked, "It's like we've stepped into a time capsule. Next, you'll tell me there's a ghost bartender ready to serve us drinks." The group chuckled, attempting to brush off the creeping unease. As they delved deeper, they discovered the hotel's indoor pool, its water long evaporated, leaving a gaping abyss. Beside it, a bar with bottles still intact, labels faded but beckoning. Michael remarked, "It's as if the place was abandoned overnight." Despite their initial apprehension, the group's camaraderie and shared sense of adventure fueled their exploration. They ventured further, unaware that the hotel was slowly awakening, its secrets ready to unfold. The deeper the group ventured into the hotel, the more the atmosphere grew thick with an inexplicable tension. The once innocuous sounds, the creaking of old wood, the distant echo of their own footsteps began to take on an ominous tone. Suddenly, Lila's camera malfunctioned. She frowned, trying to restart it, muttering about a fully charged battery. As she tinkered with it, a cold draft swept through the corridor despite there being no open windows. Michael's hand went to an old newspaper clipping he'd pocketed earlier, his thoughts drifting to the unsettling stories it contained. A distant, soft melody began to play, drawing Becky's attention. "Do you hear that?" she whispered, her voice quivering. It was a slow waltz, emanating from an unseen gramophone. The group exchanged uneasy glances, the haunting tune heightening their unease. Deciding to trace the source, they followed the melody to a closed door. Alex, taking the lead, slowly turned the handle, but before he could push it open, another door down the hallway slammed shut with a resounding bang, plunging them into momentary darkness as Becky's flashlight flickered off. Regaining their composure, Martin pointed toward the now closed door. "That was open a moment ago, wasn't it?" he questioned, his usual confidence wavering. Behind that door were Alex and Becky, separated from the rest, their muted shouts barely audible. As the group rushed to their aid, Lila's camera spontaneously flashed, revealing a fleeting silhouette at the end of the hallway. The shape was human, yet oddly distorted, vanishing as quickly as it appeared. Their jovial adventure had taken a sinister turn, the hotel's dormant mysteries awakening, ensnaring the group in its haunting embrace. The weight of the hotel's oppressive atmosphere bore down on the trio outside the sealed door. The once muted cries of Alex and Becky grew more frantic, their muffled voices echoing pleas for help. Lila, her fingers trembling, tried capturing the strange phenomena on her camera, but it remained stubbornly unresponsive. Martin and Michael threw their combined weight against the door, but it refused to budge. Desperation seeped into their actions. "We need to find another way in," Michael gasped, his historian's calm shattered by the unfolding events. Inside the room, shadows played tricks on Alex and Becky's eyes. Whispers, barely audible, flitted around them, recounting chilling tales of past guests who never left. The room seemed to expand and contract, playing on their mounting panic. In a corner, Becky spotted a window, its panes grimy, but intact. "There! Maybe we can get out and find the others," she exclaimed, hope momentarily piercing the darkness. Outside, Lila's camera flickered to life on its own, its flash illuminating a series of cryptic symbols etched into the door. Michael, squinting to make sense of them, realized they resembled old protective charms. "These were meant to keep something in," he muttered, dread sinking in. Martin's resolve hardened. "We need to regroup and find a way to get them out," he declared. But the hotel's labyrinthine layout, combined with its eerie ambiance, made every decision feel fraught with danger. Time seemed to warp, minutes stretching into hours. With every failed attempt to reunite, the group's hope waned. The Mirage Heights Hotel, once a symbol of opulence, now felt like an inescapable trap, its walls closing in with malevolent intent. As the group's desperation mounted, Michael's historian instincts propelled him towards the hotel's derelict library. He believed that if there were answers to be found, they would be hidden among the remnants of written history. Navigating through the dimly lit room, the musty scent of aged paper and leather filled the air. Shelves, once meticulously organized, were now in disarray with scattered books chronicling the hotel's storied past. Michael's fingers brushed against a leather-bound journal, its spine cracked and pages yellowed with age. The emblem on its cover matched the protective symbols on the sealed door. Flipping it open, he was met with entries from the hotel's last manager. The passages began ordinarily enough, detailing daily operations and guest accounts. But as the dates progressed, the tone shifted. Desperate scribbles spoke of inexplicable events, guests going missing and dark shadows stalking the corridors. A specific entry from November 1962 stood out. It described an ill-fated seance conducted in the very room Alex and Becky were trapped in. An attempt to contact the spirit world had gone horribly wrong, unleashing an entity that the hotel staff struggled to contain. The room was sealed, its entrance marked with ancient charms to imprison the malevolent force within. Michael's heart raced as he realized the magnitude of their situation. They weren't merely dealing with forgotten memories, but an active, restless spirit. The journal held one more revelation, a ritual to appease and reseal the entity. Armed with newfound knowledge and a glimmer of hope, Michael hurried back to the group. The stakes were higher than ever, and time was running out. They had to act swiftly to save their friends and prevent the darkness from spilling out into the world. The oppressive weight of the hotel's atmosphere grew heavier with each passing moment. Mikhail, clutching the journal tightly, reconvened with Martin and Lila, sharing his grim findings. The realization that they were ensnared in a web far more sinister than they had imagined was sobering. Lila, her voice trembling, pointed to a passage in the journal. There's mention of a ritual at midnight, where the veil between realms is thinnest. Michael nodded. We need to conduct the ritual and free Alex and Becky. But first, we must find them. Guided by the journal's cryptic instructions, the trio scoured the hotel for the necessary items. A silver candlestick, an old phonograph playing a specific melody, and a vial of salt. Each item was said to hold significance in sealing away the restless spirit. As the old grandfather clock in the lobby signaled the approach of midnight, the trio made their way to the sealed room. With every step, the hotel seemed to resist, with corridors shifting and familiar landmarks becoming unrecognizable. Eerie apparitions and ghostly whispers sought to mislead them, and the very walls pulsed with a malevolent energy. Inside the trapped room, Alex and Becky, driven to the brink of despair, noticed a glimmer of hope. The window Becky had earlier spotted showed signs of weakening. Together, they attempted to pry it open, their efforts echoing in the corridors. Outside, Martin, Lila, and Michael finally reached the door. Setting up the items, they began the ritual. The atmosphere crackled with tension, and the boundary between the living and the dead blurred. As the ritual neared its climax, the hotel released its grip, doors swinging open and light piercing the darkness. The group's unity and determination had challenged the hotel's malevolent force, but the night was far from over. The first light of dawn painted the horizon as the Mirage Heights Hotel's haunting grip began to wane. The ritual, infused with the group's combined willpower, had managed to repel the darkness, if only temporarily. The sealed door creaked open, revealing a disoriented Alex and Becky, their relief palpable as they reunited with their friends. As they made their way out, the hotel seemed to sigh, its hallways no longer menacing but filled with a melancholic stillness. The once intimidating structure now appeared defeated, its secrets laid bare. Upon returning to the safety of their world, the group grappled with the events of the night. Martin, ever the journalist, chronicled their harrowing experience, hoping to warn others of the dangers lurking in the abandoned hotel. However, many dismissed his account as a work of fiction, too fantastical to be believed. Lila's photographs, on the other hand, told a different story. Among the expected shots of decay and ruin were images that defied explanation: ghostly figures, orbs of light, and the unmistakable silhouette of a bygone-era's dancer in the ballroom. Michael donated the manager's journal to a local museum, ensuring the hotel's sinister history would not be forgotten. Alex and Becky, forever changed by their ordeal, became advocates for paranormal research, seeking answers to the unknown. Years passed, and the Mirage Heights Hotel was eventually demolished, its dark legacy buried under layers of concrete and modern development. But those who knew its story, especially the 5 friends who lived it, often wondered, had they truly sealed away the malevolence, or had they merely silenced it, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to awaken it? Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Write in the comments what you think about this story.